Now, you remember the days of carburation? You had to start the car, pump the pedal, and wait a while? Not the case here, fuel injected. Today on Tech Garage, we're gonna take a carbureted engine, and we're gonna turn it into fuel injection. You're wondering why? Welcome to Tech Garage presented by Advance Auto Parts. Now our charger here, power, performance, fuel economy, fuel injected. That's what I'm all about. On the other hand, you may have a carbureted engine. No problem with carburation. I just kind of like the fuel injection idea of the good atomization and everything that's going on. Carburetors, they've been around for years. You can see the carburetor right here on the intake manifold, along with the old ignition system. That's why I don't like carburation. But anyway, you tune it up, it'll do just fine. Now we're going to take our carbureted system and we're going to totally transform it to fuel injection. How are we going to do that, you might ask? Terminator, EFI system by Holley, true turnkey package. It all starts right here with the throttle body, the fuel injected throttle body. This actually has the injectors built in, all the sensors, the idle air control, everything you need, throttle position sensor, all the computer sensors you need for fuel injection. And guess what? One plug and play, almost too easy. Because we're fuel injecting it, that means we're going to actually have to come over here and boost the fuel pressure. So you see our fuel pump right here? It's a high volume fuel pump, good up to 600 horsepower. It'll do great on this engine. We come up, and then also with fuel injection, we're going to have to return it. We return it here through the pressure regulator back to the tank. And we'll learn all about fuel injection as we go through the show. Also, we got the whole wire harness here. This wire harness has everything labeled right on it. Relay, pump, throttle body, whatever it may be. Simple as just plugging it in, programming it, ready to go. Once you plug it in, you got the programmer right here. I just touch a few things, and guess what? The cool part is, now this is the ECM right here. Now that's going to learn all the parameters of the engine, and it's going to run good after that. We're actually going to bolt it up to this YN intake manifold. It can go on that street dominator, but this is a better choice. So we're just going to put it on this YN sweet intake manifold, and we're going to get rid of that old HEI ignition system, because with this fuel injection, we want the spark power. So we're going to put this MSD system on there. This is a true turnkey package. This motor is going to run just like a fuel injected 5.7 Hemi is. But you know, I got to get Brian over here to pull this intake manifold off, so we need to get started.
Well, I know what you're thinking. You're thinking, a PRW engine stand, you guys are taking the easy way out because it's easy access to everything. And you're absolutely right. We understand that in your engine bay, you've got all kinds of stuff to navigate that gets in the way as you tackle a project like this. But we believe it's so important for you to see everything that we're doing on this project and understand it that we'd rather go ahead and show it to you this way on the PRW stand so you get the same look, feel, and flow that we do as we navigate the project. Step one is to remove the coolant neck. We'll also have to remove the ignition system and, of course, the fuel line and the PCV vapor return line. And I'm going to go ahead and start removing intake manifold bolts after I get this neck out. We're going to get this old manifold off quickly.
Brian, I can't let you go with this alone, so I'm going to give you a hand. I'll go ahead and start pulling this ignition system out right here. Got the bolt loose. I was messing with the timing earlier, so I can pull this out right here. Now, if you're doing this at home, maybe you don't want to go ahead and pull this out until you remove the cap. Why? Well, you can actually index it, and I'll show you. If I put this out here, take these last ones out.
And on this coolant line, the chances are you're going to have antifreeze seep out this coolant line, so make sure you have a drain pan down at the bottom to capture that. We don't have that to worry about.
Well, you notice the rotor button right here? It's pointing in this direction. You want to index that if you're just going to put the distributor back in and not turn the motor over. Now we're putting a whole new ignition system, so now I'm not going to worry about it. We'll time it a little later, and we'll show you how to do that. So I'm going to pull that out. Now we got a good access here. I'll pull the PCV line out, get it out of the way.
Thank you. I grab the fuel line right here, work it off. Perfect.
All right.
Let those bolts fall. I'm okay with that.
All right, we'll pull all these intakes, 4 intakes. It's really not that bad.
Good practice is let's cover up all these holes to make sure we don't drop anything as we remove pieces and parts. Okay, we're clear there. I'm going to get the spark plug wires off over here for you.
Like Brian said earlier, if you're doing one of these newer cars, hats off to you. There's a lot more that you're going to have to deal with, but our Spartan engine here, It's gonna run great when we get this done. I'm excited.
Okay, I think that intake manifold's loose and ready to come up, John.
You wanna make sure you get a buddy if you're under the hood, because sometimes they're heavy and you wanna kind of bring them straight up and out so the coolant don't go into the engine.
And if you're working by yourself, consider getting a lift to pull it straight up out so you can control it, not hurt yourself in the process. This is an old heavy intake manifold. I'm excited that new one's really lightweight.
Yeah, and this is great because you can see the actual ports here to the heads. You can see the intake passages, the coolant. We're going to replace these gaskets. You know, we throw on that new intake, we'll be fuel injected.
Absolutely.
And we'll start that as soon as we return with more Tech Garage right after this break.